Hey everyone, welcome back to The Upgrade, where we discuss upgrading your home, your finances, but ultimately your life. Today's video is going to be about how I save $5,000 realistically. Okay, I'm going to be very honest and brutal with you all. How I saved $5,000 in 6 months. Okay, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on Instagram at @theupgrade_Kiki, and let's get into the video. The first realistic tip that I can give you is to get out of debt. How are you supposed to save money if you're in debt? That's so unrealistic. I used to watch videos like this saying how to save $5,000 and $10,000, but the solution was to get out of debt. The less you owe, the better. Currently, well, I'm not debt free yet, but next Tuesday I will be officially debt free. I'm paying off my student loan. That's my last piece of debt, and then I am done. But I had to pay off a lot of credit cards, a lot of loans that I had to pay that off to free up some money. But what I did once I paid it off is I continued to put the payment amounts every month into my savings. That really helped grow my savings and fast. Now, what I would recommend doing when it comes to your debt is, I'm big on Dave Ramsey's snowball method, where he says pay the smallest to the largest. I say pay the highest payment to the smallest so you can avalanche it, right? So I started off with the snowball method, paying off my little credit cards, but then I was like, okay, let me pay off the big dogs so I can save $300 instead of just $25 a month. Get rid of all unnecessary expenses. All those subscriptions you have that, what is it y'all have, the kids nowadays? Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora Radio, XM radio, all that stuff, get rid of it. It's unnecessary. I don't have any of that stuff. I listen to my music on YouTube, even when I'm in a car. Yeah, that's unnecessary. Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff. I always say this, but get rid of some of that stuff. And you thinking, oh, it's just $10 a month, it's just $6 a month, but that's a lot of money that you could be saving. Okay, $10 a month in a year is $120. That's a lot of money. Change your living expenses. Now, usually people say go home to your parents. If you can, that's great, but not everyone has that privilege. So another realistic option is, I say rent a room, rent someone's basement. It's always people house hacking everywhere in the US, so try to do that. I also recommend maybe finding a roommate, living with a friend. Even though you might not want to, you got to do what you got to do. You know, just screen them well, make sure that they okay, they good. Especially if you have kids, you want to be careful. But I say even get like a studio apartment. Do something, do whatever to change your living situation, because honestly, rent is one of the most expensive bills. Now, if you do live at home with your parents and you're still trying to cut back, I say trade in that car, refinance the car, lower the payments, do whatever you got to do to hurry up and be debt free so that you can start saving. Number 4 is to set a budget. When you set a budget, which people don't like budgets because it sounds like a say no to everything plan. If you listen to Dave Ramsey, that's kind of how it works with him. But for me, my budget is what the budget needs to call it, the say yes plan. I'm able to do everything I want to do because of my budget. I used to just put all my money towards debt and I felt like I didn't have to have fun. I couldn't do anything, but that's not realistic. You're still supposed to live. You know, you don't want to just work and pay bills. What I did was I set up something called a sinking fund. Now, a sinking fund is basically an account that you use to save up money, but you're eventually going to take everything out once you have something that you want to do. So I have sinking funds for trips. I have sinking funds for when I want to go out to eat. Anything that I know I want to do, I'm going to set a budget aside for that. So I put a couple of dollars into my sinking fund, so that way when it is time to even go Christmas shopping or for baby showers, birthdays, it's just good to have, because you're saving up this money for a purpose, but you know that it's not to really grow your savings, it's just to be able to do certain things. Setting a budget is just a way to know how much you can spend. So you should have a budget of how many bills you pay. If you haven't written that down yet, you need to do that. See how much you have, see how much you have left over after you pay all of your bills, what can you get rid of, and then go ahead and start putting money aside to start living. My next tip is to open an account that's hard to access, usually at a credit union or just an account that doesn't have a debit card. Something that's easy to deposit into but not easy to take money out of, if that makes sense. I have a savings account with a credit union, and I don't have a debit card with that account, so it's easy for me to just save. But I've become so disciplined from using Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover that I really don't need to have it in a separate account anymore. However, now that I'm getting paid on YouTube, I'm putting that money into a different account that I can't access, just so I can go ahead and start saving up for my mini retirement. Which, if you're interested in a video on that, let me know, because I am planning to retire early just for a season, and then I may go back to work, or who knows, maybe I'll blow up on YouTube. But let me know if you're interested in that. Opening an account that's hard to access makes it easier to not spend. You should not have it to where you could just transfer from your savings to your checking if you have that as a habit. Number 6 is to have a separate spending account. So not everything can be saved. Like, there's some money that you're gonna have to keep in your account for bills and things of that nature. What I like to do is I have another account. Okay, let me explain. So I have my checking account that my direct deposits and all of my bills come out of, right? But then I also have another account, which is through Cash App, that I use to put my spending money on that, so it's easy to keep track. I give myself $100 every 2 weeks as my spending budget, right? So I transferred the $100 to this Cash App card, so that way I know exactly how much I'm spending, exactly what I spent it on, and it's just easier to keep track instead of having that combined with like my bills and all my other stuff, okay? So I say have a small other account for just spending and fun money. Number 7 is a spending freeze. If you notice that you cannot save, you need to go on a freeze from spending any money. No more brunches, no more dinners, no nothing. Just stay home for at least a whole month, or maybe even 2 months, and just save. I love spending freezes. I do it once a quarter. January will be my next spending freeze, and then I usually do it again in like April or May. I like to just try to just take a moment to just not spend. Number 8, find another stream of income. This will help you a lot if you have some more money coming in. Now, some of us don't want to leave our jobs. I know people say if your job doesn't pay that well, then leave it. But sometimes your job is not stressful and you are okay with the amount that you make. However, it's not enough. For me, I have another stream of income with my YouTube channel, and with my YouTube channel that comes with sponsors, Amazon, affiliate links, just different things. I say try to find another stream of income. Maybe it's a hobby that you have that you can use to start making some money. Now, next year, I'll be keeping the money separate. So I'm gonna have a separate savings for my YouTube and then my own personal savings. And then at the end, I'm just gonna combine them all. So I'll keep you posted when I get to my 10K, okay? I'll let y'all know. This I actually saw from this YouTuber. I'm gonna tag her video, but set systems, not goals. That is so deep to me. Instead of trying to set a goal and then just having it there and not being able to really scratch it off your list, try to set a system to actually get that goal. You need to have systems in place with everything, and that system includes like your budgeting, opening new accounts, something that works for you that can actually get you to where you want to be. And then my last tip is to stay persistent. You know what you want. You have a goal. Whether you're saving $5,000 or $10,000 for a certain item or a trip, or like me for your mini retirement, just make sure you keep that in mind. Don't break. You have a goal. You really have to be disciplined when you're doing stuff like this, okay? Even with paying off debt, I actually have a video on that, so I'll tag that down below too. But even with paying off debt, you have to be disciplined and have gazelle intensity, as Dave Ramsey says, and use that to really knock off your goals, okay? 2021, no excuses. You hear me? Alright, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any tips, leave it down in the comments below. Also, make sure that you follow me on Instagram at @theupgrade_Kiki, and I will see you all on the next video.